Today, we're diving into the digestion of dietary carbohydrates, a Block 4 essential that shows up in both MCQs and SEQs. We'll go step by step through where digestion happens, which enzymes are involved, what they break down, and how this connects to exam questions. So grab your notes and let's make this simple, fast, and unforgettable. Let's start right where digestion begins, the mouth. The key enzyme here is salivary amylase, also called ptyalin. It breaks down starch and glycogen into maltose, maltotriose, and A-limit dextrins. This enzyme works best at a pH of 6.7 to 7.0, close to neutral. But here's the catch. The moment this mixture hits the stomach, the acidic pH below 4 quickly inactivates salivary amylase, so digestion pauses for a bit. For your MCQs, remember to ask, what is the action of salivary amylase? And why does carbohydrate digestion pause in the stomach? Now pause and think, what exactly happens to salivary amylase when the pH drops? As the chyme moves to the small intestine, carbohydrate digestion kicks back in, stronger than ever. First comes pancreatic digestion. The enzyme at work is pancreatic amylase, secreted by the pancreas into the duodenum. Just like salivary amylase, it breaks down starch into maltose, maltotriose, and A-limit dextrins, but it works more efficiently at a slightly alkaline pH of around 7.1 to 7.5. For MCQs and SEQs, focus on this. Which enzyme digests starch in the small intestine? And what pH does pancreatic amylase work best at? Pause and think. Can you recall that number? Next, we move to brush border digestion. This is where disaccharides are broken down into absorbable monosaccharides by specific enzymes at the brush border of the small intestine. Here's the key list. Maltase breaks down maltose and maltotriose into glucose. Lactase breaks down lactose into glucose and galactose. Sucrase breaks sucrose into glucose and fructose. And isomaltase, also called adextrinase, breaks down A-limit dextrins into glucose. These are all high-yield enzymes, so expect questions like, which enzyme breaks down lactose? What's the product of sucrase activity? And which enzyme deficiency leads to lactose intolerance? Speaking of which, here's your clinical corner. A lactase deficiency leads to lactose intolerance, which causes bloating, gas, and diarrhea after dairy intake. Expect this to show up in SEQs as, explain lactose intolerance in terms of brush border enzyme deficiency. Now here's a quick review tip for your exams. For SEQs, always follow this pattern: site, enzyme, substrate, product, and clinical link. For MCQs, focus on enzyme names, pH ranges, substrates and products, and the difference between brush border and pancreatic digestion. And finally, your turn. Which brush border enzyme do you always forget? Say it out loud or write it down right now. That's how you lock it in.